So how can we take a really basic recipe and turn it into something that looks epic and exciting? Something that looks creative and interesting to watch, and how can we do all of that shooting completely handheld using only a phone? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. It's coming up. Hey everyone, Steve here from Learn Online Video, and today I'm in the kitchen of this old converted barn where I'm going to be showing you how to shoot an epic B-roll style recipe video using your phone. I'm going to be giving you tips on camera movement, framing, composition, lighting, and much more so that you can take all of these techniques and apply them to your own films and videos. A big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Storyblocks. Find out later in this episode how I'll be using Storyblocks to edit all of this footage together. Helping me on this shoot today is my good friend Sean Williamson, a graphics designer, drone pilot, and all-round top bloke. Sean is in no way a chef by any stretch of the imagination, but that doesn't matter because today's challenge is to take the most basic recipe imaginable, spaghetti hoops on toast, and turn it into something that looks much more exciting, shooting only on a smartphone, completely handheld. I'm going to walk you through this shoot step by step, and then at the end of this video, we're going to edit all of this footage together into a sequence using music, color grading, and sound effects to see what results we get. As always, all gear used in this video will be linked in the description below, but with all that out of the way, let's jump straight into this tutorial, starting with location. Now, location is really important when it comes to recipe shoots because we want our audience to be able to see what's going on. Kitchen islands work great for this. We want to put our camera deep in the action. If our subject is stood at a worktop with their back towards the camera, it's going to be much harder to see what's going on. But if a worktop is all you have, then just use that. Shoot from the side and get your camera as close to the action as possible. Okay, moving on, let's talk about lighting. Now, there are a couple of ways you can do this. You could just use what you have. If your kitchen has an abundance of natural light, then make the most of it. If you're happy with the look of the lighting in your kitchen, then just use that. But bear in mind that generally speaking, phones don't perform well in low light situations. So I'm going to use this big softbox to create a nice, soft, diffuse light source that I can control. And since I'm lighting this scene, then I may as well go all in, so I'm going to be using these Pavotube lights to light the background of my video. I went for red and blue to create a more contrast look. Okay, let's start shooting. Shoot in slow motion. I find shooting at either 60 or 120 frames per second works great for this because you're able to slow your footage down in the edit. Take this opening shot, for example. I want to start this sequence by grabbing my audience's attention. So before Sean opens the tin, I've asked him to slide the tin from one hand to another, flip it in the air, and put it down. Now, while Sean was doing this, I pushed the camera forward and then followed his movement the best I could. It took a few attempts, but eventually we got the shot. Now, the shot by itself looks okay, but the key to an epic recipe video is linking one shot to another. This time, I'm going to completely change my angle and shoot from above. The beauty of mobile filmmaking is that you can easily put your camera into positions that you wouldn't usually be able to using a more traditional camera. I'm going to take advantage of this and shoot a top-down, push-forward shot of the tin being opened. Now, let's continue linking these shots. What's the next step of this recipe? Well, we're going to need to put our spaghetti hoops into the pan, but let's do this in the most epic and dramatic way possible. Sean's going to lift the tin as high as he can and pour whilst I follow the hoops as they fall into the pan. A total mess. I'm covered in hoops, but hopefully it's worth it for the shot. Let's take a look. Okay, moving on, cutaway shots. It's important to not only get shots of the food, but also other details within the environment. In this case, I'm going to get a push-forward shot of the hob being switched on. These shots not only give the audience a break from the food, but also help tell a better story. Also, you don't need to shoot every step of the recipe. I could get a shot of the pan being placed on the hob, like this for example, but that would probably be overkill. So instead, I'm going to cut from the hob being switched on to a push-forward shot of the hoops boiling in the pan, cut the fluff, and just focus on the most important and visually interesting stages of the recipe. Okay, moving on, I want to keep this sequence short and exciting. We haven't seen anything fly in the air for a while, so how about we throw some bread? Camera pulls back in slow motion, bread spins in the air and lands in the toaster. These shots require patience and commitment. They look easy, but this one took a few attempts.
Oh no, I wasn't recording.
Okay, back to our recipe shoot. We've still got a few really important shots to get before we can edit this footage together. Now, our last shot was of the bread flying into the toaster, so now's a perfect opportunity for a cutaway shot. Action. This time I'm going to pull back as Sean opens the cutlery drawer and grabs a knife. Just a nice quick cutaway before we head back to the toaster. This time I'm going to push forward while Sean pops the toaster and catches the toast. This shot took a few attempts but was worth it for the end result. Now, the shot ends with Sean moving his hand to place the toast down on the chopping board. So let's link this shot to the next shot. This time I'm going to get another top-down push forward as Sean places down the toast. Let's take a look. Yes, perfect. These two shots will cut together nicely. Okay, let's get some butter for our toast. Again, I'm going to get my camera deep in the action and follow the knife as it glides through the butter. Now, pro tip here for extra smooth shots, okay? Use a tea towel. If you're in a kitchen, chances are you'll find one of these laying around. I'm going to fold it and use it as a way to slide my camera. I can slide to the side, forwards, and the shots come out really smooth, just like they were shot using a slider, except we've achieved the same look by shooting handheld using a tea towel. Okay, we're almost there, just a couple more shots to end this sequence. Let's go out with a bang. How about a shot of Sean seasoning his hoops? Doesn't sound very epic, but again, let's follow the ingredients as they fall and get our camera nice and close to the action. I'm going to get this a few times just to make sure we've got it. Let's take a look. Okay, the grand finale. Let's shoot the very last shot of this sequence. For this, I'm going to move Sean over to the dining table and we're going to light some candles. How romantic. Again, using my tea towel slider, I'm going to place it on the table, point my camera up and whip down and pull back. A pullback is a great way to end a scene as it implies the end. So that was a breakdown of how to shoot this style of video, but now let's edit all of this footage together into a sequence using music, color grading, and sound effects. So as you can see, with a bit of editing, this footage really comes to life. If you found this video useful, do let me know by giving it the old thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this, learn more about video production, you can do that by watching one of my other videos just over there. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.